Texas Republican Congressman Lance Gooden with us right now. Congressman, it's not your bailiwick within the Financial Services Committee, but generally in the House, when they do have this impeachment vote, it seems pretty sure to go along largely party lines, and then it goes to the Senate. How do you think that's going to go?
Well, first off, back to the largely along party lines comment. Nancy Pelosi said this should be bipartisan if we're going to go forward, and she's getting what she wants in the sense that this will be bipartisan against the impeachment resolution. We have Democrats that are going to be peeling off with us next week. No Republicans are going to stray.
How many do you suspect Democrats will peel off?
My guess is 10, give or take a few. But the point is they are not unified on this because they know they don't have a case. They know that the facts are very weak, and they know that the process has been flawed. Even if you hate Donald Trump, you've got to agree that this process has been flawed. Democrats in my district, we don't have a lot, but they're nice people too. They have come up to me and said, I don't like the president, but I do agree that this process has been flawed. And you have to agree that the president deserves a fair shake, and he hasn't gotten it. So no matter what you think of the president, you as an American, any American, should be disappointed and ashamed of this process. I certainly am.
Well, you know, some of your Democratic colleagues are ashamed of what they're hearing coming out of Mitch McConnell in the United States Senate, that he is working with the White House counsel on the impeachment process that looks like it's sort of an inside friendly game here. What do you think of that?
Well, I think that the White House should be worked with and accommodated. They were not even allowed to be present in many cases for the proceedings that we had here in the House. So I think the president will get a fair shake in the Senate. I think that the Republican-led Senate will do a fine job, but I think we also need to wait and let's see how it shakes out.
All right, but it doesn't bother you on the level of the president earlier saying, I'll do what I want to do, and it will almost seem like he's orchestrating this in the Senate. At least that is how it appeared.
Absolutely not, because this whole process is a sham. So we're now in the Senate concluding a sham process. You can't suddenly legitimize this sham process no matter what happens in the Senate. Nothing that takes place.
Countering a sham process with what your critics say will be a sham of your own, right?
I'll tell you when our critics will stop criticizing, and that's when Republicans retake the majority. Because Kevin McCarthy, our leader, the minority leader of the Republicans in the House, he has said to me, other members that I work with, he said, when we take back the majority, we're not going to govern this way.
Sir, but that's
no president should be treated this way.
That's not what I guess. I guess what I'm getting at is, and you're quite right, and a lot of people agree with you, and certainly in your party, that there's reason to feel bitter and angry about how the process went in the House. But now if we have what seems to be, at least on the surface, a cozy relationship going forward where you're supposed to have a trial in the Senate, you don't think there's anything awkward there?
I don't, and in fact, we heard Lindsey Graham say, I think it was last week, he said, we're not going to call all these witnesses that our supporters and our base back home want us to call because we don't want to run this thing like the House Democrats did. So I think you'll be, in a few weeks or months or whenever this goes down, you'll be saying, wow, this was a fair process. It's a shame it even came to this point. It's a shame that the U.S. House of Representatives...
Will it be a fast process, Congressman? The understanding we have is there might be few, if any, witnesses and a vote up or down and done.
You'd have to ask the Senate. I don't know how. I don't want to speculate, but I suspect it will be fair, and I suspect it won't be nearly the joke that you've seen the last few months in the House.